Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving into a really fascinating piece of political commentary that analyzes reality television star Spencer Pratt and his, let's be honest, highly unorthodox run for office in Los Angeles. Now, whether you follow California politics or not, the actual mechanics of this campaign offer a wild, and I mean wild, case study in modern political warfare. So here's the core question analysts are asking right now. Can a reality TV star actually disrupt LA politics? We're going to look at how an ultimate outsider is attempting to shake up a deeply entrenched political stronghold, and he's doing it using a highly modern playbook of celebrity, social media, and local outrage. The source material we're looking at immediately draws a powerful and definitely polarizing parallel. They argue that Spencer Pratt is getting the Trump treatment. The idea here is that the political establishment is reacting to Pratt exactly the same way they did to Donald Trump in 2016. Why? Well, largely because the public is starting to perceive Pratt not as some polished elite, but just as a regular citizen who finally woke up and decided to fight the system. To really understand the mechanics of this campaign, we've broken it down into 5 key areas: the unorthodox challenger, the Trump treatment, the TMZ confrontation, the policy playbook, and finally, the broader political lesson. Let's jump right in.
Starting off with Section 1, the unorthodox challenger, from Palisades to politics.
You see, it wasn't some carefully calculated, lifelong political ambition that brought him here. It actually started with pure tragedy. Pratt lost his home in the devastating Palisades fire. He squarely blames this event on the negligence of established politicians, specifically targeting figures like Karen Bass. This profound personal loss served as the catalyst, framing him as a regular citizen forced into the political arena. And as this highly visceral message really started resonating with voters, the momentum shifted dramatically, leading to a massive surge in the polls. Naturally, that surge instantly triggered some severe media scrutiny. And that momentum shift wasn't just online noise. It was a massive 12-point surge in the polls. To put that into perspective, a jump like that literally transforms someone from a vanity candidate into a legitimate electoral threat overnight. In fact, it allegedly prompted his political opponents to completely pull out of future debates, rather than face his aggressive, direct style on stage. Which brings us to Section 2, the Trump treatment, media strategy, and backlash. Because Pratt is now viewed as a surging threat, analysts argue the establishment is deploying a very coordinated playbook to build a sort of wall of fear around him. Instead of debating local policy, the strategy heavily relies on media attacks, like labeling him a mini-Trump or a fascist. According to the commentary, this tactical approach even extends to attacking his supporters' intelligence and allegedly using paid social media influencers as attack dogs to tightly control the public narrative.
Moving on to Section 3. The TMZ confrontation, semantics versus messaging.
This underlying tension totally peaked during a highly contentious interview with TMZ. In a campaign ad, Pratt stood in front of an Airstream trailer on a dirt lot, calling it his home. Well, TMZ went on the offensive over literal semantics. They repeatedly pressed him, asking, "Are you physically sleeping in the trailer, or are you actually staying at a Bel Air hotel?" But Pratt totally refused to take the bait. He kept his focus firmly on the macro issue. His house burned down, and to him, that dirt lot represents the ultimate visual consequence of political failure. While the established media attempted to do this kind of hard-hitting journalism by trying to catch him in a technicality about where exactly he rests his head at night, Pratt just completely leveraged the dirt lot as pure visual symbolism. By declaring, "I don't live anywhere. They burned my house down," he bypassed those semantic traps entirely. He used it to visually telegraph the real-world devastation currently facing Los Angeles residents. But this disruptive strategy, it carries a massive personal cost. During that exact same interview, Pratt revealed he survives on just 4 hours of sleep, faces daily death threats, and requires a full security team. The irony is, he literally couldn't safely sleep in an exposed Airstream even if he wanted to. It's a stark reminder that this brand of hyper-disruptive, highly visible messaging puts a candidate's livelihood and actual safety directly on the line. Next up, Section 4, the policy playbook, actionable solutions. Okay, setting the media drama aside for a second, we really have to look at why this messaging is actually resonating so deeply in a heavily Democratic city. Harold Ford Jr., a Democratic Fox News contributor, captures the dynamic perfectly here. He notes that while political opponents are reading from a national anti-Trump script, Pratt is zeroing in on what Angelenos actually experience every single day: rampant homelessness, a lack of public safety, and incredibly unaffordable housing. It turns out offering practical, actionable solutions to local dysfunction consistently proves far more potent with voters than standard partisan attacks. And finally, Section 5, the broader political lesson, a new strategy. So what is the overarching lesson political analysts are taking away from this entire race? Well, the blueprint moving forward is becoming pretty clear. First, abandon purely nationalized partisan rhetoric. Voters care exponentially more about their own backyards. Second, relentlessly force opponents to defend their actual track records. Third, hit them on highly practical, unavoidable local issues. And finally, offer crystal clear answers to citizen frustrations. This aggressively local, visually symbolic strategy is quickly becoming a masterclass for future campaigns nationwide. We've seen an outsider use a profound personal tragedy to launch a visceral campaign, while the media establishment responded with character attacks rather than policy debates. As we look ahead, it leaves us pondering a really critical question. In modern political warfare, does intense media scrutiny actually dismantle grassroots campaigns? Or does it inadvertently supply the exact fuel they need to explode? Definitely something to think about the next time you see an unorthodox candidate dominating the headlines.